At 21 years of age, most of us weren't in any sort of financial position to go out and buy a supercar. Gio Petruzziello was, and did, finding this 2010 Ferrari 458 Italia about 4 years ago nearby and promptly bringing it home. He wasted no time in making it his own, dropping it on Novadex springs, adding new wheels and tires, and swapping the factory exhaust out for an IPE titanium system. Never intended to just sit still in the garage, Gio drove the car regularly and enjoyed every minute behind the wheel. Right now, you're asking how someone so young could get his hands on a Ferrari, then modify it, spending even more money. It was the fruits of his very successful business. LGND Supply Company is the lifestyle brand that Gio founded, where he currently serves as the brand's CEO. Offering apparel and automotive accessories, the group's main focus is building vehicles that you can win by making purchases on their website. The giveaway phenomenon is nothing new and it's probably all over your social feeds regularly, but LGND is one of the very few that maintains a very transparent operation, going as far as keeping a running tally of past winners and their regions that you can view on their website. Now on their 40th giveaway campaign, it was back in 2020 with giveaway number 5 that Gio decided to put this 458 up for grabs. At that time, it was wrapped in matte green with dark tinted headlights and taillights and wore black wheels, and once the winner was announced, it was shipped off to Washington. 3 years later, he and his team reached out to the owner to see if he'd be interested in selling it back to him. The car was well taken care of and barely driven the whole time the winner owned it, the group tells us. We all knew Gio missed that car deep down and he wanted it back. It was a flawless transaction. With the car's return came a desire to make some major changes and give it a whole new look, and that required tearing the entire car down. Though it hadn't been driven much while away, the car required some items to be serviced or replaced entirely and those issues were addressed. When the exterior began coming together, it included the addition of Liberty Walk's widebody kit. The LB Works front bumper uses integrated lower ducts, a larger, uncluttered grille area, and anchors a thin splitter that sits just underneath. The requisite fender flares add considerable width around the front tires with an abrupt stop well before the bottom of the front bumper, exposing some of the tire when viewing the car from the front. You'll find the same style flares mounted to the rear and both ends using Downstar Inc. billet aluminum hardware. An up-kicked rear spoiler sits between very custom taillights that use 3D printed inners with red, dual-intensity LED halos and white LED reverse lights. Look further down and notice the factory bumper diffuser is overtaken by LB Works' larger, more rounded version. A sleek carbon fiber intake duct sits in the middle of a custom carbon hatch, and the entire car and its almost $30,000 aero kit is currently covered in Inazitec's Ruby Star vinyl. To get the extreme drop he wanted when the car sits still required adjustable suspension. A complete air ride airlift 3H system was installed, including a custom air tank and carefully formed copper hard lines. When completely aired out, the Ferrari tucks the tops of its forged Vossen S2102 staggered wheels and Michelin Pilot Sport 4S under the Liberty Walk arches. With a 570 HP V8 on board, there wasn't much of a need for more power, but Gio wanted to squeeze a little bit more and find the tone he was after. A RYFT titanium exhaust system with race pipes was the perfect candidate, its blue-glazed finishers now highlighted by the rear bumper's center oval pass-through. Crack open the lightweight hatch and all of the factory covers have been replaced with Fabspeed's carbon fiber engine bay panels and a matching airbox cover. The valve covers received a coat of yellow that matches the refinished brake calipers, wheel center caps, and vivid interior treatment. When the car was purchased for the second time and torn down, the interior was completely pulled from the cabin and dissected. The seats, door cards, center console, headliner, and dash all received a custom black and yellow leather and Alcantara makeover, and even the carpet and floor mats are one-offs. Every single switch, button, and knob was picked apart and refinished in gloss black or yellow, then laser etched for LED backlighting. The process was long and arduous, and as LGND tells us, it was months of getting parts painted and replacing every part that broke. It's an old handmade Ferrari, so lots of stuff broke. The car was debuted publicly at the shop season closer just days before SEMA 2023. It was then shipped to Las Vegas, where we were able to grab a set of photos. The journey was something for the books and definitely a staple in the timeline of building the perfect Liberty Walk 458, they tell us. This is only the beginning of our venture into restyling vehicles for the public, but I'm sure you'll be seeing more builds similar to this one in the near future.